Hello guys, welcome to today's video. If you haven't already, do subscribe, drop a comment, and let us know what you think. All right, so we're going to give you a couple of pieces of news that you should really know about, and let's get started. So Solana is unveiling a ChatGPT plugin that retrieves on-chain data. Now, the Solana Labs said that the users are going to be able to use this plugin to look at your wallet balances, to check them, or if you want to transfer tokens, you can do so, and you can even purchase those NFTs with inside of ChatGPT, which is pretty cool. There was a screenshot that a user actually, well, there was one screenshot that a user asked for a list of NFTs owned by a particular Solana address. And there was another example where a user asked for sending Solana transactions to another address, and even a third one that asked to help purchase an NFT. All of those prompts actually return relevant instructions and information in natural language. But those technical details that were found on GitHub also suggested that the plugin can retrieve data about account balances, assets held, transactions, signatures, NFT collections, and a few other things. Now, the project GitHub's page suggested that the tool can currently be installed as an unverified plugin by using the address, and you can see this address right here if you would like to try that as well. Now, there's some other AI tools that really kind of focus around blockchain, and well, let's say they're pretty cool as well. Now, Binance launched a ChatGPT called Sensei chatbot just a couple of days ago, and Visa announced plans to hire an AI-focused blockchain developer on the 24th as well. But crypto integrated browsers are adding AI features. Opera announced that the AI integrated version today, Opera 1, and then there's Brave, which is an integrated summarizer tool into a search engine in early March. That was done. Now, outside of blockchain industries like Marvel Studios, Epic Games have actually spoken about the potential of AI in the entertainment industry. So it's really kind of taking storm here. And not only that, but the House Republicans are actually, well, trying to give a draft legislation for stablecoin user regulations, but it's just a draft at this time. So those stablecoin issuers are entities that create or distribute digital assets with their value pegged to the US dollar. Now, there can be private companies like Circle, and Circle gives USDC, financial institutions, or even just regular people. Now, stablecoin issuers are responsible for ensuring that their stablecoin maintains a certain value relative to underlying assets, right? But they're actually trying to be ahead of this whole thing in that regulatory landscape. And there's described as a starting point for conversation about stablecoin regulation and House Democrats with Senate and White House in the coming months. The bill should be crafted as a renewed effort to regulate stablecoins on both levels of either state or federal. Now, now the bill is what they're trying to get passed will require stablecoin to be regulated by the federal payment entity or a registered state qualified payment issuer. But also, a stablecoin provider would need to meet certain reserve capital requirements and supply monthly disclosures to them. Really, this is going to show their reserve portfolios to be approved as an issuer. Now, this is only applied when the specific requirements reach the basic floor highlighted in the federal legislation, and the instances how it eases the prior narrative that required payment stablecoin issuers to expect all appeals. Now, the latest proposed bill presents a language that is, well, trying to show that users must establish procedures for timely redemption of those payments that are outstanding in stablecoin. Now, it's worth noting that the bill gives the state time to interrogate any infringement act that arises with stablecoin issues approved by the states. Now, what can that do to the crypto market and everything as a whole here? It can give a greater legitimacy in stablecoin for stablecoins, which really aren't regulated, but the confidence of the cryptocurrency market as a whole lead to and actually increase the adoption of digital assets. So that also will be a good thing because we have, well, some regulation and more companies will kind of jump in and take advantage of that. But it could also, well, it could also increase the regulatory compliance cost for stablecoin issuers. And that's going to make it more difficult for new people to actually enter this market or new companies to enter this market. because the increase in fragmentation and the patchwork regulations, and that could actually create well, challenges for compliance, right? So either way, the crypto market scene is evolving. The framework for stablecoins are actually getting more and more important, and the new legislation is, well, a step towards establishing, well, more understandable guidelines for stablecoin issuers as well. But um, pretty much right now, the crypto market is actually showing a bit of exposure to different news circulating in the industry. But like, for example, the last 24 hours, the crypto market capitalization actually dropped by 1.2%, which is around $1.2 trillion. So it's already getting moved. But there are also, in the next pieces of news that we have, that there's some rumors going around of another bank collapse in which people are getting more concerned. And the big question here is it going to affect the price of Bitcoin? Right now, this bank that we're talking about, First Republic Bank, is actually facing a pretty similar thing going on with inside of it, right? As it's, well, limited options to turn its business around as well. There were some statements that were given by the financial institution, and it's attempting to unload between 50 billion to 100 billion dollars in debt instruments as part of its strategic options, and that's all to actually kind of fix this massive capital outflow. But the White House is pretty concerned whether it's going, the bandwidth is to find a way for insolvency, and this is coming from the Financial Times, by the way. Uh, so this is pretty big, but Charles Gasparino, he had even mentioned something about officials that the big banks believe the feds were poised last week to take over FRC just before its earnings announcement crushed shares. He even added, "Scoop. Bankers working with First Republic Bank say that they expected eventually government receivership for ailing bank after its exhaust private sector solutions, such as asset sales and finding a buyer, both of which it can be or appear difficult. Officials at the big banks believe the feds were." Right. This is, like I said, this is from Charles Gasparino yesterday. But the FRC stocks drops actually while Bitcoin prices are starting to rise. In the light of this, over 49% of the stock price was actually completely wiped off, and it brought it over to over 90%. Now the price per share hit that all-time low of around $8.10 as those markets actually closed out. But while the U.S. stock market exerted a, well, a rather mixed reaction to the news, Bitcoin rose about 1.5%, 1.60, and well, the meteoric price rise during this last American banking crisis as well expected a similar trend in the event of banking giants' failure as well. Now, this downward spiral for the last couple of days, it fell from around 30,000 to around 26,000. But with this other banking news, it could actually go back up to the key principle of Bitcoin being, and this is giving that idea that Bitcoin's is going to be what people go to during the dollar. So it's that alternative to banking industries, and it really kind of shines the light on that. So, as they are right now, Bitcoin's price is exchanging hands around $28,000, which is that 1.61 gain that we were talking about, to a loss of around 7.63% that was actually recorded within the last week. So we're kind of really seeing what's going to happen. Is it going to push above 30,000, et cetera, et cetera. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. Thank you for joining me. Do subscribe, drop a comment, and I will see you again next time.